we're going to go here to the last one so we can wrap up today's show. 7 steps homeowners and renters should take after a wildfire. We don't need to go into too much detail about this, but I wanted to make sure we talk about it. I mean, look, I wasn't expecting that we'd be recording this week's show, and there's a fire on that side of our wall.
Unreal.
I wasn't expecting that. It's just where we find ourselves. So let's quickly talk about the recommendation here. What do you want to start with?
Well, no, obviously as today, I just would like to read here on the article starts with the fires in greater Los Angeles area have burned through 40,000 acres, destroying more than 12,300 structures. According to the NBC News, about 88,000 LA residents are under evacuation orders, and another 89,000 are in evacuation warning zones, meaning they may need to leave, in a moment right away.
Yeah.
Thereafter, that's pretty crazy.
Yeah.
Like, we've been in this fire, it feels like already, I want to say almost 2 weeks.
Well, yeah, it's 2.5. Yeah, 2.5 weeks now
2.5 weeks?
at the date of this recording, and this came close to home, right? I mean, from where we're sitting right now, we are one zone northwest of the road closures of the fire on our side of town. Yeah. So, fortunately, the winds have worked in our favor today, and there's a ton of crew out there working their butts off to keep that fire in place. But I'm also grateful for the lake. I'm going to tell you right now. Having Otay Lake right there is super helping.
No, it is.
It's really helping us.
Hopefully that's not the fish we're trying to, save. So
yeah. You can't pull the water out of that lake because there's fish in. Oh, okay.
Well, I'm very glad that we do have, that is our reservoir, right?
Yeah.
We get that. Let's go out there and turn this thing off. And in a good note, our friend said that thing was it was controlled right now.
Yeah.
They got it under control.
Yeah. I think all things considered, the conditions that our local firemen are facing are favorable rather than less favorable. So. Yeah. Let's go through this. If it's okay, I just want to kind of talk about it real quick and maybe mention a couple things. The first thing, I guess the general sense here is like file your claim as quickly as possible.
Yeah.
Because there's also going to be a lot of other people filing claims too. So you're going to be in line virtually. And also, I think this just kind of speaks to the proactive nature of giving yourself your best shot at recuperating your losses. Yeah. Any way you can.
Yeah. So anyhow, if you've lost your home during the fire, go out there and make your claim. Be the first in line. And the cool thing about this in this article, I didn't know this, and I'm sure a lot of people don't know. Even if you don't know for sure if your home is burned, you make that call already. Be prepared. Yeah. Right? And that's what it says right here. It says, if you already evacuated and are unaware of the status of your home, you can still begin to claim the process.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
The claim process.
Yep. So, number one, file that claim first and then assess damage later.
Yeah.
Goes without speaking. I'm going to quickly go to number 2. Yeah. Ask about loss of use.
Sorry. Oh, no, I got to interrupt you because it also goes to renters. Not only this applies to landlords, but it also applies to renters. We want to make sure that, again, we become that resource and that we allow people to know. And renters, if you're in that same situation and you have a renter's policy, make your claim.
Yeah, thank you for. I was going to blast right to the next thing, but good pit stop. Homeowners and renters, that applies to you.
That's right.
Number 2, ask about loss of use coverage. A lot of people actually don't know about this, but there is something as loss of use coverage. You have to make sure your policy has it, of course. So whether you're watching this and you know about it, great. Yeah. If you don't know about it, go look at your policy and see if it has loss of use coverage. Number 3, keep your receipts and document everything. So, the better you document what you have as you're kind of going through everything, the better the chance is you'll be able to kind of demonstrate the loss and kind of show, this is the thing, that's the thing. Yeah. I'm going to use a personal example real quick here. Even in the studio, when I was getting my business coverage for inland marine coverage, I detailed every single item in the studio. Yeah. And it's product number and its replacement cost. And I put it all on a worksheet. And anytime I buy something new for our studio, it goes on our worksheet. Gotcha. And I send it to my insurance guy. I go, hey, here's the updated. He's like, you bought another light? Great. But for me, I have it documented, got the part number and all that. So anyways, there's that.
What some of these things include, like your receipts for food, your lodging, your clothing, everything in there. So they're what they're saying here is prepare yourself enough and make sure that you're not taking this just like just for granted, register these things. So that way you get that reimbursement, you get what you deserve. And it's not just costing you out of pocket, because if you're already displaced, the least thing you want to do is have to pay for additional things that you already covered. So it's always good to know what you're covered in your policy.
Yeah, if you're having actual material loss, you're going to replace that. Your insurance is going to replace it, or you're going to out of pocket replace it.
There you go.
So next thing, turn off your utilities. I was actually just talking about this with my daughter the other day. I said, if we ever had to leave our house, we've got to turn off the gas, turn off our breaker, and turn off our water potentially as well, to make sure that when those things all come back on board, so if there's an issue, it doesn't cause a bigger issue, or if there's like a fire in the place, we don't cause an issue. But also, if there's no fire and we get to return, then when those things all come back on board, surges and that kind of thing. I don't know all the technical terms, but we're actually just talking about that the other day. Next thing here is contact your auto insurer. Now, most people may not be aware, but your auto insurance covers your auto loss, not your home insurance.
Yeah.
And again, unless you have some sort of special rider in your policy that in the event of a home loss, your home will cover the car, it's your car insurance that actually covers that as well. So just double check if you haven't already. Then
they also have the, don't forget property tax. This one was pretty cool to know. Like, I didn't know that. So, it states here, applicants, it says that pretty much if your house burns down, you can go to the local tax assessors and reduce your property taxes, and your property, sometimes you won't even have to pay property tax until your home is actually built out. Yeah. Which is pretty cool. I never knew that.
Yeah, this is definitely gonna be like municipality by municipality, but either again, I think part of it is going to be with either the total destruction or the rebuilding nature of your property.
Well, just imagine, those homes in Palisades that were on average, they were saying like 2.3 million. Look at the property tax. The property tax in California is generally about 1.25% multiplied by whatever your last purchase price was. Yeah. I mean, that could be thousands and thousands of dollars, especially the ones that are like 30, 40 million. Mm-hmm. Oh my goodness. Stop your property tax.
Yes.
I'm sure they already know, I think, but you never know.
Final one here is number 7, tap local aid opportunities. And this is just keeping an eye out for things. Like, there are some people, unfortunately, that don't have any insurance in these cases. And there will be, you're going to see government agencies or non-government NGOs that are going to be like the Red Cross and things like that, that'll be there. And also just, local churches and schools and your school districts and that kind of thing where, there will be businesses that are offering aid and help. Just keep your eyes open for those kinds of things where, if you really have nothing and you need clothes and food and water, there should be some local resources there as well for you.
Yeah. I like how they put it over there. For people that have zero insurance, they will probably be a type of assistance that will be available. Yeah. Probably. I don't know that I like that word. It's just doesn't sound so reassuring.
I think that's one of those words that like the legal department's like, you should probably put the word probably there instead of there will be. but here's the stark point. Like also you have your own stuff prepared. Like have your own place ready, have your go bag, your go kit or whatever, like have the stuff that's most important for you to have. And I saw a recommendation, like take 3 days worth of the things you need on a daily basis.
Yeah. Well, using that the fires were here, obviously my father-in-law, our families are very close by. First thing he did, he sent a text thread to all of us in one group text that if anything happens, our meeting point is our house. Well, my father-in-law, if you know him, he already has everything prepared. He has, non-expired canned food, which I just realized I had a ton of that in my cabinets. But he's very well prepared. Solar lights, not candles, right? We don't want to add more fumes or add to it. So we
more
get
flames,
flames, So, just have a plan.
Yeah.
And it's pretty cool that I know that I have a family member that is always thinking ahead. And if this guy happens, then come to this,
Yeah.
So that was pretty cool.